13 years have passed since the Hagar drama, and things have gotten relatively quiet. Ishmael is a teenager now, and Abram's probably figured, okay, this is my life now. I got one son, lots of cows, everything's cool. Then God drops in for a visit, and things get interesting. Welcome back to the Gravel Gospel. I'm Bionic Leg. So Ishmael's about 13, and Abram's 99. But then God shows up, and he does something interesting. He calls himself God Almighty. So in the Hebrew, the word is El Shaddai. Now, I found this interesting because so far, unless I've read right over it, this is the first time God refers to himself by a specific name. Hagar called God God who sees. But this is, I think, and again, I could be wrong, this is the first time that I've seen God refer to himself. Hey, this is who I am. But I digress. God said, he tells Abraham, he says, walk before me and be blameless. Then he follows up on the promise that he told Abram before. He said, I'm making a covenant with you, and I'm going to multiply you exceedingly. Now, when Abram hears this, he falls flat on his face, understandably. I mean, it's fair to say that, he's 99 and God starts talking about multiplying you, falling on your face. That's a pretty natural response. Now, I've said it before, I've leaned up to it, where God is going to change Abram's name. He's going to call him Abram. Well, here's where it is. God changes his name. He says, you're not Abram anymore. From now on, your name is Abraham. The name changes, it's kind of a big deal. Because Abram, it meant exalted father. Which is, it is weird. Because here's a guy that hasn't had any kids, with the exception of Ishmael, for 86 years. Whereas Abraham means father of multitude. God is literally speaking the future into Abram's identity. Now, Abraham. He tells him, he says that kings will come from this line, from your line, and your descendants will own Canaan forever. And this isn't the first time or the last time that God's going to do this. Then God introduces the sign of the covenant. So, usually, the Old Testament signs are cool things like pretty rainbows or metal chariot, pillars of fire. The pillar comes later. But God tells Abraham, he says, every male among you must be circumcised. This wasn't just for Abraham. It's for the babies, for the house-born slaves, even the guys that were bought from outsiders. So every male in your household must be circumcised. Logistics are nuts. Because, it's obvious Abraham had his own personal army. When he went up north to go rescue Lot, then he's rolling with 318 men. So you got to figure, okay, these are guys that are old enough to fight, right? But then that's just men, and that's 13 years prior. So now, since then, he's got dudes that weren't of fighting age then. Now they are. That's a lot of males. And he's got to go to all of them and say, so, hey, you remember a while ago that 100-mile trek we did up north to go rescue my nephew? That was easy. I'm going to need you all to get in line to do some trimming. And you got to figure the dudes, they're probably going, yeah, but Abraham, I just got my hair cut like last week. And Abraham's over there going, yeah, it's not that kind of cut. But if they didn't do it, it meant they were cut off from the people, which is, I find the wordplay kind of funny, but it's a permanent mark of a permanent covenant. Then God turns his attention to Abraham's wife. He says, don't call her Sarai anymore. Her name's going to be Sarah. Now God promises to bless her and give Abraham a son through her. He tells him, he says, nations and kings will come from her. Again, hearing this, Abraham falls on his face, but this time he's not just overwhelmed, he's probably laughing. He's going, okay, I'm going to be 100 soon. She's 90. God, you know how you made us, right? I figure if there was the equivalent to a medical textbook, Abraham's flipping through and going, this 100 old guy, 90, not young. Is this gonna work? Because he's stuck in the physical brain, already forgetting how God works. But Abraham, he tells God, he says, just let Ishmael live under your blessing. We've already got a son right here. Let's just use him. But God, being God, told him, he says, no, I heard you about Ishmael. Don't worry, I'm going to bless him. Ishmael, he'll have 12 princes under him and be a great nation. But the covenant, that stays with Isaac. Isaac is the son Sarah is going to give you this time next year. Which is dope, because God's already telling Abraham this is who the son is going to be. Now, most people are going to think when somebody says, okay, I want you to go perform this surgery on yourself and then do it to your entire staff, they're going to go, can I think about it for a few weeks? Especially the nature of what he's got to do. But not Abraham. The text says that he took Ishmael and every male in the house and circumcised them that day. At 99, Abraham didn't waste any time. He showed a level of all-in obedience that's pretty impressive. So, Abraham's marked, household's recovering, and the clock is officially ticking because God just told him this time next year. So, I'm going to put a pin in that. But the next time that we talk, Abraham's going to get some pretty awesome visitors. And, well, 2 cities are going to get nuked from orbit. But, so, that's what we got. I'm Bionic Leg, and this is the Gravel Gospel. I appreciate you.